So, as we think about the investments that the university has made in security, I guess there's a couple of things all surrounding that. One is, did we really need to do this? The second is, security often is inconvenient. You need to remember passwords. You might need to have your phone around for two-factor authentication. So, and has it been expensive? So can you talk about, did we need to do it? How inconvenient is it, and how expensive has it been?
All of this security are, at least from how we are approaching it, is risk-based. We are using the risk to quantify to what level do we want to protect our assets. Given that we deal with all sorts of data as classified in the data classification, we have PII, we have, which is personal information that we need to protect, of course, like we have health information, we have student records, FEPA, but we also have other regulatory framework that we need to abide by, including FEPA, HIPAA, PCI, and all of those entities. So, given the risk with which, if we got a data breach, the cost to remediate and recover from those will be sometimes astronomically higher. So the investment that was done, the institution chose to do to protect its asset, it's way justifiable because of the cost comparison should the breach happen.
And that's because here in the United States we have a number of very specific laws that talk about how you protect data and what happens if you fail. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, absolutely. HIPAA, for example, which is the regulation that govern the health record information. If there is a breach, it goes in sizes actually. If you have, say, 10 records that have been breached or etc., there's very high fee that you have to pay per each record. PCI is another one for the card industry that has a very...
And that's purchase cards, like Visa cards.
Visa cards, yes. They have, if there's a breach in your merchant had a breach because of either lack of security protocols, then there is a high penalty that can easily go into thousands of dollars or even sometimes millions of dollars, depending on the level of breach. So it is very serious repercussion if we do not take steps to mitigate the risk. So the cost, for example, we ended up doing at the university here for the two-factor, we implemented a Duo as a solution, but there are several other solutions out there. And Duo costed us hefty amount of cost, but as a result of adding another element in the line of added, it's a defense in depth. You are adding layers of security. So if one breach occurs, somebody has a username and password, they really have to have another factor in order to breach your defense. So again, the costs of implementing some of these measures, while it can be steep sometimes, however, it is in the strategic for the institutions to protect its assets. As a result, it's justifiable cost.